Since January 11th, 1993, there has been one constant in all of the professional sports and entertainment worlds. There will be Monday Night Raw. With the exception of the occasional dog show preemption in the early years, nothing from technical difficulties, poor ratings, wrestlers' deaths, real-life terror attacks, or COVID, nothing has stopped the WWE from taking the airwaves every single Monday night. No matter how bad fans think the product is from time to time, Raw soldiers on. To steal the "there will always be baseball" line from the Ken Burns documentary, there will always be Monday Night Raw. And when it's the best, there is no better way to spend a few hours winding down at the start of the work week. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and in today's video we're counting down the 13 best episodes in WWE Raw history. Welcome to the club. In at number 13, we have the Invasion storyline is over, from the November 19th, 2001 episode of Raw. The Invasion storyline curtailed at Survivor Series 2001, with WWE triumphant over the alliance of WCW and ECW. 24 hours later, Mr. McMahon was on top of the world as he removed Paul Heyman from commentary duties, with Jerry the King Lawler returning to WWE for the first time in 9 months. Kurt Angle believed he was the hero who saved WWE from losing to the Alliance, as he betrayed the Alliance by rejoining WWE. McMahon rewarded Angle with a World Championship match, but the Olympic gold medalist failed to regain the championship. The show was stacked, and McMahon was going to award Angle with Steve Austin's WWE Championship, but Ric Flair returned to WWE for the first time in 8 years in front of his hometown fans in Charlotte, North Carolina. The dirtiest player in the game dropped a bombshell, revealing that he was McMahon's 50-50 partner as they co-owned WWE. In number 12, we have several shocking moments happened on this edition of Monday Night Raw that aired on May 17, 1993. The unpredictability of Raw was showcased on the May 17, 1993 episode of the show. Shawn Michaels' former Rockers tag team partner Marty Jannetty returned to WWE, and he stunned the Heartbreak Kid to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship. That wasn't the only upset on the card, as the Kid saw off Razor Ramon in one of the biggest upsets in the history of Raw. Former WWE Champion Yokozuna also built up momentum heading into his WWE title rematch with Hulk Hogan by seeing off Kamala. In number 11, we have the final American Nightmare on the March 25th episode of Raw from 2024. The road to WrestleMania 40 was really heating up on Raw's March 25th, 2024 edition. The first match of the night featured Ricochet and the Judgment Day's JD Madonna, which was outstanding. The Rock and Cody Rhodes opened up the show, and Rock left the American Nightmare with a message. CM Punk was ruled out of WrestleMania 40 due to injury, but they didn't stop him from roasting the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Towards the end of the show, The Rock laid a brutal smackdown upon Cody Rhodes' candy ass and left him in a bloody pulp. The beatdown continued well after Raw went off the air. In number 10, we have Raw is 30 from the January 23rd, 2023. On the road to the Royal Rumble in 2023, WWE celebrated a huge milestone: 30 years of Monday Night Raw. The opening segment and match were worth the price of admission alone. Raw began with the trial of Sami Zayn, which led into Sami Zayn proving his allegiance and helping Jey Uso defend the undisputed tag team titles due to an injury for Jimmy Uso. We also had the ultra cool, and now unfortunately ultra haunting, meeting between the American Badass Undertaker and Bray Wyatt on the eve of what turned out to be Wyatt's last match at the Royal Rumble. In number 9, we have Raw after WrestleMania 30, featured a shocking title change, and took place on April 7th, 2014. The Raw after WrestleMania is always a raucous affair, filled with WWE fans from all over the world. WWE fans are always still amped from Mania and ready to see the fallout. The night after the fantastic WrestleMania 30 saw Daniel Bryan fans rabid and full of yes cheering the new champion on. We also got the final appearance of the Ultimate Warrior after his return from self-imposed exile, a day before he would tragically pass away. NXT stars Paige, Rusev and Lana all made their debuts, and in the main event Triple H tried to steal the WWE title, but his former heavies The Shield decided to stand up to the authority and didn't allow that to happen. In number 8 we have Steve Austin handing Vince McMahon his first stunner on the September 22nd, 1997 episode of Raw. When Raw first debuted, it emanated weekly from the Manhattan Center in New York before transitioning to traversing the globe. On September 22nd, 1997, the flagship show finally came back to Madison Square Garden. The show was easily the wildest Raw yet, and the MSG faithful were ready to see something special. They got it when Stone Cold gave Vince McMahon his first ever stunner. Later in that evening, Dude Love chickened out of his Falls Count Anywhere match with Triple H. In one of the most fun WWE vignettes ever, the Dude asked Mankind to help, but Mankind deferred to someone even more terrifying as Cactus Jack made his WWE and MSG debut to run roughshod over the Connecticut aristocrat. Sticking with Mankind, we have in number 7, the January 4th, 1999 edition of Raw, where Tony Schiavone's butts in seats comment backfired. Remembered more for its historical significance during the Monday Night Raw than anything else, it was still incredibly heartwarming to see perennial fan favourite amongst the fans, Mankind, finally be recognised for his hard work and dedication and win the WWE title. The pop Stone Cold gets when his music hit as he headed down the ring to help Mick Foley win the big one was scintillating. Foley racing all over the ringside area with the title and having his Rocky moment telling his son, "Big Daddy, you did it!" should override any crazy spot he ever took in the business, and the pop when that 3 hit is truly heartwarming. In number 6 we have the July 9th 2001 episode of Raw where the invasion gets extreme. Other than Booker T and DDP, none of the big stars of WCW came over after the company was bought. The invasion angle was faltering because of it. Then came the debut of ECW stalwarts Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer. Within a few seconds the crowd realised what was happening. The members of the WWE and WCW rosters that were part of ECW had capitulated with Paul Heyman to revolt. It was an exciting prospect for a few hours, as all 3 promotions were set to go at it, but by the end of the night the alliance was formed instead. In number 5 we have the November 7th 2022 edition of Raw, where Austin Theory made unwanted history. For several months it seemed that WWE was operating against the grain. Despite the fans coming back around on Seth Rollins and singing along to his entrance theme, he was a little rudderless and a heel too. That all changed during the November 7th 2022 edition of Raw. The then US champion opened the show prepping for an open challenge. But Judgment Day and the OC came out instead, and Rollins skirted away unscathed. The entire evening featured challenges coming at Rollins until Austin Theory unsuccessfully cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Rollins has been on a roll ever since and is finally getting some well-earned time off. In number 4 we have Sting Gate Crash's Seth Rollins statue unveiling on the August 24th 2015 edition of Raw. Speaking of Rollins, the night after SummerSlam 2015 he was also riding pretty high. He had just defeated John Cena to become the US champion and retain his WWE World title. Jon Stewart came out and explained his actions as to why he stopped John Cena from breaking Ric Flair's title record. Paul Heyman tried to convince the Barclays crowd that The Undertaker cheated to defeat Brock Lesnar, which he did to be fair, but the fans didn't care. The Dudley Boys also made a surprise return to drive Xavier Woods through a table. However, at the end of the night, another surprise was in store, as Rollins was supposed to have been presented with a statue of himself, but instead got surprised by Sting, who showed up to clean house. In number 3, we have Raw Homecoming on October 3rd, 2005, which featured a shocking betrayal and a wrestler leaving the red brand. For several years, Monday Night Raw aired on the TNN network, the only time in WWE history that their Monday night show was not on the USA network. So when the rights fees reverted back to USA, Raw came home. Stone Cold celebrated this by stunning every McMahon in sight, including Linda, in a stunner I'm sure you've seen. Matt Hardy lost his feud with Edge and was then banished from the Red brand. John Cena beat up on Raw GM Eric Bischoff, but the price of admission was paid with Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle in a 30-minute Iron Man match. In number 2, we have the original ECW Invasion on Raw 200 on February 24th, 1997. In the infancy of Monday Night Raw, particularly as the company was exiting the New Generation era, the show really felt like anything could happen. The original ECW Invasion didn't just accentuate that positive, it made the show feel dangerous. Paul Heyman and his band of misfit toys invaded the Hammerstein Ballroom. Sabu famously leaped off the Raw sign, and many of ECW's top-tier talent got to showcase their skills on the WWE stage. The show also featured the debut of Ken Shamrock, speaking of dangerous, which laid the foundation for Shamrock being the guest referee at WrestleMania 13. And in at number 1, we have the March 30th, 1998 edition of Raw as the Attitude Era begins with DX getting stronger. After vanquishing Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold Steve Austin stomped his way out to Raw as the new WWE Champion. It was immediately set up that the new champion would not be mouldable into a corporate version of what Vince wanted. Elsewhere, X-Pac made a huge return and cut a scathing shoot promo on Bischoff and Hogan, and by the end of the night, the New Age Outlaws had officially joined DX and the faction was stronger than ever, and the Attitude Era would truly kick off for WWE. And there you have it, there's our list. So what did you think? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. What is your favourite episode of Monday Night Raw? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you never miss out on any of the fun content we produce here at Honor Wrestling Club. Be sure to check out some of our other videos as well. Go on, you'll enjoy them. However, that's all for now, so I'd just like to thank you for watching and welcome to the club.